I'm a brand strategist based in Chicago, and I work specifically with therapy and allied health practice owners. And over the last several months, I've been watching something develop in the market that most private practice owners haven't noticed yet. It hasn't fully arrived, but I've seen this pattern before. And the practices that see it coming early are the ones that can choose how they're going to respond. So that's what this video is about. 80% of younger generations are now actively optimizing their health. Not just going to the gym, optimizing, tracking labs, monitoring body composition, reducing screen time for well-being, managing metabolic health with medication. Half of the people currently on GLP-1 drugs are considering gym memberships. That's a large and growing population of health-motivated people actively looking for support infrastructure. The fitness industry saw that coming, and they moved fast, Chicago included. A few years ago, my wife started working at a med spa here in the city. And through her, I got a close-up look at what was happening to an owner who had built a quality spa over many years. When the spa first opened, word of mouth worked. General positioning worked. They had a solid reputation. They had loyal clients and manageable competition. And then something shifted. New med spas started appearing everywhere. Same services, same technology, same marketing language. But the ones that did the most damage weren't just competitors. They were backed by private equity. Operators from outside the industry saw profit margin potential, and then they moved capital in. Their strategy was simple. Use operational capital to undercut the local pricing. Run at a loss for a few years. Squeeze out the independents who couldn't follow them down on price. I offered to help the owner think through the spa's positioning. My advice was clear. Stop competing on price and features. Stake out a specific market position. Own a specific outcome for a specific type of person. The owner understood it, but making that shift is hard when you built something a certain way over many years. Changing the frame can feel like abandoning what made you successful in the first place. I'm telling you that story because I'm seeing the same thing begin in the allied health space. And in Chicago specifically, the pressure is coming from two directions. On the one side, you have the large health systems, Northwestern Medicine, Rush, UI Health, just to name a few of the big ones. These are not new players, but they are getting more aggressive about their referral capture. Research from the Federal Trade Commission has noted that as hospital systems acquire physician practices, referral patterns shift inward toward affiliated providers. That's not a conspiracy, it's an economic incentive built into how these systems operate. What that means for independent dietitians or PTs or SLPs in Chicago is that the referral pathways that used to flow more freely toward private practice are narrowing. The system is consolidating around itself. On the other side, you have premium fitness. Equinox has locations across Chicago and is rolling out longevity and women's health memberships that integrate clinical thinking into the fitness model. Their trainers are even being educated on drug interactions. Lifetime, which operates in Chicago and the suburbs, launched Miura, bundling lab work, hormone therapy, GLP-1 support, and dietitians under one membership. These aren't amenity upgrades. This is clinical infrastructure being built inside fitness brands. And nationally, we're seeing Crunch partner with telehealth platforms, F45 integrate medication-supported weight management, and Fay Nutrition embed dietitians directly inside gym memberships. That infrastructure is moving toward markets like Chicago. FYI, I'm tracking this through fitness and wellness industry newsletters and additional research. Here's where I want to be direct with you. Because if you practice in Chicago, this isn't abstract. This is your market. Northwestern and Rush already carry institutional trust that no independent practice can out-credential. Premium fitness brands are adding clinical services to an experience that is already convenient, already aspirational, and in some cases where your clients already spend a decent amount of time. That's the pressure, but it's not the whole picture. Here's what the research actually shows about these large-scale models, whether hospital systems or gym as clinic brands. They are very good at adding services. Adding a dietitian to a membership, bolting on a telehealth option, building amenity ecosystems. They can do that at scale and they can do it quickly. What they are not yet built for is depth, specifically continuity. the kind of relationship where a client comes back, not because it's convenient or included in a membership, but because they trust the specific person they're working with and that person actually knows them. In a city like Chicago, that opening is real. A practice that becomes the obvious local choice for one specific population with one specific condition and one specific outcome can build something that Northwestern cannot replicate and that a gym membership cannot replace. But here's the thing about openings. They close if you don't step into them. The med spa owner I mentioned had that opening too. The clinical results were real. The relationships were real. The reputation was real. But the message hadn't kept up with the market changes. They still communicated like it was 10 years ago, before private equity showed up. I see the same thing in allied health practices across the city. The work is excellent, the outcomes are real, but the message is generic. And the generic message in a consolidating market is not neutral, it's a liability. So here's a question I want you to sit with before my next video. If a potential client in your city is choosing between your practice and a gym membership that includes a dietitian, metabolic health assessment, and a care team, what is the specific, clear, honest reason they would choose you? Not a general answer. Not, we're more personal, or we really care. That's true of most other practices, and it doesn't move people. You need a specific answer. One, a potential client could repeat to a friend at dinner. One, a referring provider could use to describe you in a single sentence. If you practice in Chicago, that answer needs to work in a market where Northwestern is a household name and Equinox is on the corner. Generic does not get through the noise. In my next video, I'm going to walk through specific strategic case studies that private practice owners can learn from right now, not to just survive this shift, but to be better positioned because of it. There are real opportunities here that most practices haven't touched yet. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if this resonated with you, send it to another practice owner in your network who you think needs to hear it. I'm Brian Butler. I'm based in Chicago. I help therapy and allied health practice owners clarify their message, build trust, and grow the practice they actually want. I'll see you at the next one.